You're watching Time Warner Cable News all evening.
Hi everybody, thanks for joining us here on Time Warner Cable News. I'm Solomon Syed.
And I'm Kate Welshofer. The headlines are just ahead after a quick check of weather on the ones. Mostly cloudy skies overnight with some patchy fog and perhaps a spotty shower later on. Lows ranging between 35 and 40. Mostly cloudy with a few spotty showers Thursday, mainly in the morning. Highs ranging between 50 and 55. Loved ones describe him as the type of man who would take the clothes off his back for someone else. In fact, Wayne Best Jr. did give his shoes to a friend who didn't like the ones he was wearing. That's just who he was. And tonight, friends are honoring his memory. Tanja Reiki is at Vale Cemetery in Schenectady with more on that. Good evening to you, Tanja.
Good evening, Kate. This Christmas tree isn't something you would typically see at a cemetery, but Wayne Best Jr. wasn't your typical man. That's why dozens of people came together to trim this tree with some of his favorite things. A brother, a son, a friend gone too soon. They're hoping that this light shines some light into the investigation of his death. Hallelujah. Christmas is a time when family and friends come together, hallelujah, making new memories and reflecting on some old ones.
When he made the lacrosse team, when he made, the football team, there's so many things when he rode the bike for the first time.
For Wayne Best Jr.'s family, some memories are painful. Christmas hasn't been the same since last year.
I put my Christmas tree up the other day, and it does not have a light on it, and it does not have an ornament on it, because all of my ornaments were homemade ornaments from them in school.
Yeah.
The 25-year-old was found bleeding to death on the street outside his home this time last year. No one has been charged.
Not everybody has been as forthcoming as we would have liked them to be. There are individuals out there that have knowledge, that are aware of certain events, and they just haven't been able to come forward for whatever reason.
An avid BMX bike rider and lacrosse player, friends and family brought Christmas to his final resting place. And while they reflect, they ask for answers.
Sometimes patience is a virtue. We need to but would we like it? I expected it to happen almost immediately.
They're asking for people to be best, as noted on their hats.
Be the best that you can be. It was created because a lot of people felt that Wayne was just, he was 100%. He did everything to the fullest. He was, tried to be the best that he could be.
And while nothing can bring their beloved son, brother, and friend back, knowing who took him from them would bring them together for different reasons next Christmas.
Sleep in heavenly peace.
And I'm told that the more time that goes by during this investigation, the more challenging it becomes. So if you know anything, you are encouraged to call police. Kate?
Thank you, Tanja. Tanja Reiki reporting for us tonight.
An elderly woman has died after being hit by a car crossing the street in Menands. Menands police say the 81-year-old woman was crossing Van Rensselaer Boulevard right near Ward's Lane around 6:45 Wednesday morning when she was hit. They say the driver was traveling south on Van Rensselaer when she hit the woman. The woman taken to Albany Memorial Hospital where she later died. Police say the driver is cooperating. Drugs and alcohol were not factors in this crash.
The search for evidence in the case of a missing Troy woman is now in its 6th day and has shifted slightly further down the Hudson. 21-year-old Noelle Alcaramla was last seen leaving her job more than 2 weeks ago on November 22nd. Police have been searching the river near Riverfront Park since last Friday and are now looking at the area behind the Hudson apartments for evidence related to the case. They have not said exactly what led them to the area, what specifically they're looking for, or whether they've found anything related to the case. Last Friday, the same day police began searching the river, they arrested Alcaramla's stepfather, 39-year-old Johnny Oquendo, for a parole violation. They've also not said if his arrest is related to the case.
A North Adams man has been indicted on charges of attempted coercion and enticement of minors. 74-year-old Albert Reardon, initially arrested back in October. This after officials say he posted online ads soliciting sexual encounters with a teenager in Latham. Well, police say he was messaging with an undercover investigator in the Colony Police Department who was posing as a 14-year-old boy. Reardon is facing at least 10 years to life behind bars if convicted. He's also facing a fine of $250,000 and a mandatory registration as a sex offender.
The former treasurer of the Lake George Emergency Squad is accused of stealing thousands of dollars from the organization. Edward Genter faces 1 count of grand larceny. State police say he stole $20,000 from the rescue squad accounts while serving in his elected position as treasurer. He was arraigned on the charge and released. A jury set to begin deliberating the fate of former State Senate Majority Leader Dean Skelos and his son Adam in their corruption trial Thursday morning. During closing arguments on Wednesday, their attorneys trying to poke holes in the government's case, arguing that evidence had been taken out of context, key witnesses were compromised, and prosecutors were exploiting the close relationship between a father and a son. Skelos' attorney says Adam was hired at a medical malpractice insurance firm through his dad's connections, then rarely bothered showing up for work and even threatened to bash his supervisor's head in. But the attorney told jurors, quote, "Being an ungrateful person and being a bad employee, that's not a crime." The crime, prosecutors say, is that in exchange for payments to Adam, Dean Skelos took official actions to benefit companies hugely dependent on state legislation. The elder Skelos says when jurors deliberate in the morning, he and his son will be vindicated.
I have absolute confidence in our judicial system. The jury is working diligently, they've listened diligently, and I'm confident that my son and I are going to be found innocent.
In the morning, a judge will give jurors their case instructions, then they will begin deliberating. The chief of the Watervliet Police Department is retiring. Officials say Chief Ron Boisvert filed paperwork Wednesday for retirement. He says it was a personal decision. Boisvert was appointed chief in 2007. His retirement comes at a controversial time for the Watervliet Police Department. In October, former school resource officer Joshua Spratt pleaded guilty to 1 count of criminal sex act. He was charged with having sex with 2 teenage girls. And in August, former officer Nicholas Pontori was arrested, accused of buying drugs on duty, in uniform, and in his patrol car. A local girl is getting some national attention, all because of her Christmas wish. Sapphire Terry was severely injured in an arson in 2013 in Schenectady that killed her father and her siblings. This year for Christmas, she asked for cards in order to make a card tree. Our Katie Eastman was with Sapphire as she picked up the latest round of cards, thousands from across the country.
Here we go.
It's that time to make a wish.
New Jersey.
Children write them down and mail them off every year.
And just filling them up.
But this year, these letters are the answer to a wish.
Mom, please don't start crying.
From a child who has fought to make her wishes come true since she survived an arson that killed her dad and 3 siblings.
Who can do it?
I can.
Who can do it?
I can.
When 8-year-old Sapphire Terry made a wish to fill her Christmas card tree, she said the same thing.
Who can do it?
I can.
In just one day, Sapphire Terry's gotten about 100 Christmas cards. But with letters coming from all around the world, well, there's no way they're gonna fit in this mailbox.
Literally, it might be in the tens of thousands, and we hope we get that many.
That's all for you, Sapphire. Merry Christmas.
What?
Sapphire can and Sapphire will.
No way.
A card.
Another card? She's been through hell, and back, and pushed forward.
This is just the beginning of a wish come true.
So strong.
In addition to sending cards, another family member has set up a donations page that's already raised more than $160,000. If you want to send along a card, you can find the address on our website, twcnews.com. Even though this is the smallest post office in Schenectady, the postmaster says send them along anyways. In Rotterdam, Katie Eastman, Time Warner Cable News.
Well, it certainly doesn't feel like December out there, does it? And these warmer temperatures could be sticking around for a little bit. Meteorologist Erica Dame's got all your details coming up in your Weather on the Ones after this quick break.
Sky Tracker Doppler Radar is sponsored by Leah Collision Center, where we do it all, including our own car rental department. Check out leahcars.com for more information.
Hi everyone, I'm Time Warner Cable News meteorologist Eric Adame. Thanks for tuning in. Still some clouds with us early on Wednesday, but we were able, for most of us, to get some sunshine for the afternoon. Some very welcome sunshine. Temperatures climbed into the mid and upper 40s, well above average for this point in December. Our average high is in the upper 30s, so at least 10 degrees above average for most of us. Clouds since then have returned, and there are some showers on the way already working in. So we will have a little bit of wet weather to contend with to kick off our Thursday. You may need the umbrella as you head out the door, but I think as we go into the afternoon, we should see drier weather, and temperatures are going to be climbing into the low and mid 50s during the afternoon. So let's take you through it now with our future cast. Again, a couple of spotty showers to kick off our Thursday. Temperatures not bad at all, upper 30s, low 40s in the morning. And once the showers move away, temperatures go up pretty quickly from there. At least 50 degrees, I think, on Thursday. Temperatures could end up between 50 and 55, kind of depending on how much sun we see during the afternoon before it sets, of course, very early, setting just after 4:20 in the afternoon. As we go through Thursday night, partly cloudy skies. We'll find a mix of sun and clouds on Friday. Temperatures Friday afternoon climbing into the low and mid 50s once again. I think we'll be about low to mid 50s on Saturday also. And then the biggest push of mild air is set to arrive around on Sunday, and that should push temperatures close to or above 60 degrees. So for the rest of this night, mostly cloudy skies, maybe some fog developing along with a couple of spotty showers, temperatures settling between 35 and 40. We'll find clouds and showers early on Thursday, giving way to some sun during the afternoon with a high of 50 to 55.
Well, several pipeline projects that would run right through our area, drawing a big crowd today at the state capitol.
It's health and safety.
Elected officials, health experts, and concerned residents gathering on the $1 million staircase at the Capitol, appealing to Governor Cuomo to require broader, more comprehensive health reviews for pipeline projects. They also want to see all permits currently approved to be halted until full health assessments are conducted.
What we're asking the governor is before any more approvals are granted to the expansion or increase in size in any of these facilities, that there be a public health study to look at what actually is being released from this equipment.
What we see in people living around compressor stations is a lot of respiratory disease. They have coughs, they have sinusitis.
Now, these appeals echoing some of the recommendations from the American Medical Association and the Medical Society of the State of New York. A brand new recording studio opens up in Albany, keeping an eye on all of the rising stars right here in the Capital Region. But they are no novices. In fact, one of the producers there has worked with arguably the biggest name in pop. We're going to tell you who he is coming up. Well, some local artists are getting the chance to work with a man who once helped produce for an iconic entertainer. Our Emily DeFisciani has that story.
80,000 people in a stadium screaming and chanting his name.
One of the greatest music legends of all time.
When you see the ultimate entertainer, that was him.
Now has ties to the Capital Region.
He was amazing. A great man, great person, great inspiration.
Angel Casio was producer and friend to Michael Jackson. He says he's worked on several of the icon's songs.
Monster, Keep Your Head Up, and Breaking News, that came out, and there's some other songs that have not been out yet.
And now he's ready to make magic in Albany.
I'm waiting for to work with, you know, the next best thing.
With a reputable name behind us like Angel, we can take any artist to the next level they deserve to be in if they work, if they work hard enough.
The producer is currently scouting talent at the recording studio of Albany. The business opened just a few months ago and offers services to further careers in the music industry.
This is the hot spot.
We bring the city to upstate New York.
Tanay says the local area is loaded with talent, and the studio is already keeping an eye on a few standouts.
I don't want to say any names right now, but yes, there are some artists that we are looking at heavily.
And while there may never be another performer quite like Michael, The studio encourages artists to shoot for the stars to become one.
Never give up on your dreams. If you can dream it, you can achieve it. And and here is a place where we're looking to deliver those dreams.
In Albany, Emily DeFisciani, Time Warner Cable News.
Hi everyone, I'm Time Warner Cable News meteorologist Eric Adame. Thanks for tuning in. We did have clouds and some fog still to start off on Wednesday. It seems like it's been days and days on end with the clouds and the fog. But luckily, Wednesday afternoon for a lot of us, it finally burned off and we saw some sunshine. Temperatures ended up in the mid and upper 40s for most of the capital region, even some low 50s down the Mohawk Valley. Temperatures are going to get better than that here going forward through Thursday, Friday, and into the weekend. Most of us climbing into the 50s and possibly even some 60s by the end of the weekend. Right now, some showers coming in from the west, so showers will be with us early here on Thursday, so you may need the umbrella as you're heading out the door. Those spotty showers will move off to the northeast, and drier weather takes hold for the afternoon. We should be able to get a little bit of sunshine before it sets, just after 4:20 in the afternoon on Thursday. So some late day sunshine and then partly cloudy skies Thursday night into Friday morning. Probably not going to be all that cold. There's a lot of mild air working in for the next few days. So even though we will have clear to partly cloudy skies maybe at night, some fog and temperatures probably low 40s to start the day, and then climbing into the 50s Friday afternoon with a good deal of sunshine. With enough sunshine, if that fog burns off as scheduled, and we know that's been a tough task to accomplish, but if it does so, we should be able to get those temperatures well into the 50s Friday and Saturday. Let's take you through some of that now with our temperature graphic and show you the temperatures quickly warm into the 40s here early on Thursday and end up generally between 50 and 55 Thursday afternoon. Really not cold at all considering the time of year. Thursday night into Friday morning, temperatures still around or just above 40 degrees. This is warmer than our average daytime high, which is about 39 at this point in December. So temperatures are just way above average, and they're going to stay that way for the next several days. So our forecast as we go through the rest of this night, mostly cloudy skies, some fog, and maybe a few showers. Temperatures settling between 35 and 40 just briefly. Mostly cloudy with a spotty shower early on Thursday. Should be drier for the afternoon, a high of 50 to 55. And here's a look at our 7-day forecast. Those temperatures unbelievable for this time of year. Climbing possibly into the low 60s on Sunday. Still well into the 50s Monday with showers, and turning cooler the middle of next week, but cooler but still above average for this time of year.
Hi, I'm Dan Eaton. When we think of cooking with vodka, chances are we think of pasta with a creamy tomato vodka sauce. But today on Cooking at Home, I'll be leaving out the pasta and using the sauce as a companion to prosciutto-crusted chicken cutlets. And I'll also be serving this with some steamed asparagus alongside. Do any slicing or dicing you need to do before handling the raw chicken, and then place the boneless, skinless chicken breasts on a large sheet of plastic wrap and put another sheet of plastic wrap over the top, and use a rolling pin to pound the chicken until it's about 1/4 to 1/2 inch thick, and then remove the top sheet and place a thin slice of prosciutto on top of each chicken breast, put the plastic back on top, and gently pound that. And then melt a tablespoon of butter with a tablespoon of olive oil in a large heavy bottom nonstick pan, and saute the chicken breasts prosciutto side down on medium-high heat. And once the first side's browned up a little bit, flip them over, cook the chicken through, and take it out of the pan and place it on a clean plate. And then for these 2 servings, I want to add about 1/4 to 1/3 cup of diced onion to the pan and cook that to soften. And then add 1 small minced clove of garlic and cook that along for 30 seconds or so. And then add a scant 1 cup of canned crushed tomato. Add 3 tablespoons of vodka. Add 1/3 cup of heavy cream and a pinch of red pepper flakes. And you'll also need to steam some asparagus or even some small broccoli florets if you like. And after a few minutes, add the chicken to the pan with the sauce. And then once the chicken's warmed all the way through, it's time to eat. Thanks for joining me for prosciutto crusted chicken with a tomato vodka sauce. You're cooking at home. I'm Dan Eaton.
South Colony High School's Eye Care Club is donating various articles of clothing to the Albany Stratton VA Medical Center this holiday season. The club dropped off more than 800 articles of clothing to the VA Wednesday that it received through donation drives. The socks, pajamas, scarves, boots, and other items were given to a veteran's family as well as others at the VA. Eye Care members say giving is the inspiration behind the club.
It makes me feel great. It's the reason I get up every day because I know I'm making a difference in my community.
And it's just like goes to like a really good cause, and like especially like for people who have made such a difference in like just everyone's lives like within the country.
Eye Care works on various projects year-round to help the community.
Thank you.
Thank you who? Miguel? Yeah, and his son?
And your family.
Yeah, for what?
For giving me this car.
Okay, all right. See? Look at that, huh?
The youngest member of the Pittsfield Police Department's riding around now in style. 5-year-old Officer Chavez Forte is battling a serious illness and recently became an honorary member of the Pittsfield Police Department. When a family in Brooklyn heard his story, they donated a custom Pittsfield Police Department Power Wheels for him to ride around in. A local company in the Berkshires even customized it with LED lights, a siren, and a PA system.
Okay, that's going to wrap up another half hour here on Time Warner Cable News. I'm Solomon Sayed.
And I'm Kate Welshofer. Keep it here. More news and weather for you right after the break. And don't forget about the website, twcnews.com.
This holiday greeting is sponsored by Mohawk Heating, honoring our troops serving at home and abroad.
I'm Master Sergeant Kevin Nichols, 386 Air Expeditionary Wing, stationed here in Southwest Asia. I'd like to say hi and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to all my family and friends back home in Western New York. Go Bills, go Sabres!